Hello, welcome back to Sharon from Art of Journaling and Decoupage. We are going to work on a concertina journal and bookmark for my high tea vintage book. I was inspired by many artists on YouTube for this, so I decided I wanted to give it a go. Now I am using for my cover the pieces of paper from the book I've just showed you. Now these little marks or bookmarks or pieces of paper that you can see are going to represent one day of the week, but I'm going to use it front or back, so you're going to be able to write some information or journaling on both sides. And I figured, why not have some fun? Get your glue stick out and then work on your front and back page, and then use some washi tape to concertina it all together and have some fun. So the book itself is quite simple, but for me it was just a matter of logically thinking through each step to make sure it would open up and close okay, because it was my first one. Now when I use my prick stick, I just use a tool that I can use to help ensure that the glue is bonded directly to the paper and the substrate, to make sure that all the glue is evened out and to make sure it really sticks to it. So I use my scissors for most of this only because of the angles and how it works, and I managed to use most of what I needed from one sheet. So although it says daily schedule on the front, I actually still want to put something on the back of it to make sure that it remains a little bit firmer than the paper, because it's going to be opened up and closed down and going to be written on front and back. I wanted it to be a bit more durable. So you'll see I'll go and add them all on one section and then utilize the rest of the paper. And I get most of it done on this sheet, but I do need to get a second sheet. Luckily, in these kind of books you get, I don't know, is it two of the same type of pattern? I speed this up to save you watching me glue them all. You saw me do the first one and it's just repetition for the rest of them. So the paper I used at the back, it helps because you've got the work schedule at the front and then you've got the lines, which is almost like accounting paper on the back. I work my way through them all and I then come and make sure that they are given that vintage look with some ink along the side of them. And no pieces of paper were lost in this. The butterflies that you see me cutting out were the oddments at the end, but they end up turning into a bookmark that's of this set, which I really appreciate and value. Anyhow, while I'm doing the same things here, making sure there's no air bubbles and just smoothing it all out, if you're new to my channel, my name is Sharon and I currently have another YouTube channel which is Sharon and Livy Vid Days, which is more around resin art, brushwork and some mixed media. I'll put a link in my description. Please pop over and say hello and have a little look. You might enjoy that content. I'm fairly new to getting into journaling, but boy am I enjoying the process. And as a girl that loves stationery, I've now got so many projects that I can make for myself. But this is part of a piece that will go in my current book. If you want to see what I've done so far in my learning journey for that, also check the link for the videos or click on the top right hand corner where you'll see more videos there for you. And let me know your thoughts. I hope wherever you are in the world, you are safe and well. And I just want to say a sincere thank you for anybody that is watching this video, whether you're new to my channel or you have popped over from my other channel. I value any minute that you share with me. Okay, so now I've got the front and back and I've got all my inserts. And this is where you can see the old brain ticking for Sharon, thinking, okay, so this needs to fold that way and I want them to look alternate, so I'll slowly work my way through it, but getting my old vintage ink out and giving it a good rub around just to help it look like it is from the olden years, ye olds of ye past. And I think this is just an optional choice. You can add it to until you think it's aesthetically pleasing. For me, I put a little bit on and then just rub around so there's not very obvious ink in some sections, but I just make sure I really get the edge. Once I've got all this done for all of the sheets of paper, which I'm not going to show you me doing this to everyone, but you get the idea. I'll be then ready to make sure I bring in my washi tape and slowly bond it together. Now there is a slight gap between each piece of paper, and the reason being, when it folds, I don't want it to really rub. I want it to be able to fold nicely. I use my finger to put pressure in, and then later I come with my little stick and squash it down, especially when I've got the washi tape on the opposite side. It means that they will bond together. But at each stage I follow this process, which is washi tape, rubbing it, getting my popsicle stick to press it down, and then logically checking that it opens and closes, and then I start to work on my next piece, and I'm constantly reflecting on, okay, should it go this way or the other way? And am I going to stick it down correctly? Now, you're not going to see me go through this real time as far as all the little bits in between. I've tried to edit some bits out without taking away from the integrity of seeing my full process, just because I know that time is important to you all. And yeah, if you have worked on a project like this before, I would love to know. Please make sure you do pop some comments in there. I would love to hear from you. And also, if you've got any tips and tricks that you'd love to share with the arts and crafts community, also pop it in there. Now, this washi tape is one that I purchased years ago. I had lots of supply for different art projects, but I never used them, so I couldn't tell you where to get this exact one from. All I would say is use whatever you've got around you, or use something that you bond with. But for me, I just want to show you the process, and then you can make your creative choices yourself. In between this video, I will leave any space if there is no value worth adding, and I will just speak as and when I change the next process. I hope I don't make you jump, because it'll be quiet between it all, and then Sharon will creep in and say something else to you. So yeah, let me know what you think to this process in this video, and yeah, I will speak shortly. When adding the back, that was the one that I really had to think about for some reason. I just wanted to make sure, one, the image was gonna be at the right side. Sometimes I find with art, you get things very easily in one aspect and another. Although you get it, your brain has to stop and really think about what you're doing. But I have more or less got my concertina file, and I've now flipped it over on reverse side, and I'm applying the washi tape the same. This time's a little easy because it's already thought out, and I am literally just going down and applying it. I made sure there was no overhang, and it did stop more or less where the other washi tape was underneath. Once I've got it all on there and I'm happy that it's all tacked together, I will then come with my popsicle stick and go over it again at the top, but then push it down into the crease where the washi tape from the top and the bottom will stick together, which will help a little bit with that durability. There you go, pushing it in there, and it doesn't split or anything like that. It just helps make contact, And yeah, it just holds the integrity of that concertina together. When I do finish the washi tape, I come in with some ink and just rub it over the tape just to add a little bit of feature to it. I'm really struggling for words at the minute, aren't I? I've stayed up quite late to try and do voiceovers for all my videos. I've been building a back catalogue up ready for when I launch this channel, but also when I'm overseas in the UK. So I have been working on all these weeks ahead and building up my catalogue, and now I'm doing some mass editing, and it is 20 past 11 and I really want to try and get this done for this evening. So I hope that you're not getting delirious, Sharon, and that you just, I don't know, hanging out with a friend. Hope you've got yourself a little tea or coffee and you're watching this, but I do appreciate it if sometimes you just want silence and fast forward it and take away from it what you're going to get from this. So I am applying my ink now and just gently rubbing it up and down, just trying not to make it too harsh, and spreading that along. Now I'm happy with the book. I'm coming in and thinking about how I want to close it. So I had a hole on the front of the cover and the back. In my mind, I wanted to use some ribbon to be able to tie it all together. And again, this is an optional extra. You might choose to keep it as it is. You might use some nice clips. I felt like I wanted to go with a ribbon, so I really had to think about how is this going to work. So in my brain was going and I was trying to get roughly the same space where I did it on the first one, and yeah, it worked out in the end, although I had to really figure it out because the ribbon goes around and through too where one doesn't. But yeah, maybe that's just how my brain works. So I use the brown ribbon that I use in the same project for my last video, just for a little bit of continuity, but also I think it really complements it. I want mine to look like it is definitely quite delicate in some aspects and vintage, but also light, and I think that's what I really enjoy about this particular ribbon. Maybe that's just me, but you can use whatever you've got. So I tried it in multiple different ways with fastening it, and until I found for me the place that works best. Now I am going in now and just adding a little bit of stickers and features throughout the book. Use whatever you've got in your drawers, whatever you've got you feel that is going to add value. For me, there was no rhyme or reason other than I had a look at some washi tape, I had a look at some stickers I've got, and I just placed one every few pages, just so that as the owner is going through this, it'll just add a little bit of interest. But I didn't want them to be too big that it would take over the space, because the idea for this one is I wanted there to be lots of areas for the person to journal in any means that they wanted to do, and it's kind of cool. Once I'd got them all stuck there, I went and added a little bit more of the vintage ink around it, but again, not too much, just enough to make it look a little dated. And I'm going to make one of these little concertina journals for my holiday that's coming up, and I'm going to make sure there's one for each day of the week. yeah, of for how many days I'm going to be, and I'm going to write a little diary entry just for it, and then that will be kept as a little bit of memorabilia for myself. But yeah, you're getting to see the finished product of this and the full process. And now we're going to move over to a bookmark very soon, which should complement this from the same collection. You'll see me also do a belly band and attach it into my vintage book. And I hope that you're going to find some, inspiration from this. I'd love to know your thoughts. Remember to leave me comments. And again, if you're seeing this video for the first time on my channel, I hope you're enjoying it, and remember to hit that notification bell, give me a like and leave me a comment, because that really helps my channel. And as I have currently no subscribers at the time of this, every valued subscriber would mean a lot. I am just gonna let you sit for a little bit and watch what I'm doing, and I'll come back and talk shortly. When I found these pieces of paper, I got these from Amazon. There's all different kinds of images, roughly that size. I decided to glue them in and add an additional page in there. One, it's got a pretty feature. I'm folding it over my popsicle stick so you can see that there is a white side as well that you can write on. And I figured, one, it looks pretty, and two, it gives an additional space for something to write without it actually creating too much bulk for it. And you see me doing it every third one. I stick it in, just put a little bit of prick stick just down the area I want it to adhere to. And I do this for both front and back. I really enjoy the end result of that, and I hope you do too. I'm now going into my book and finding where this is going to be on the third signature. On each one of my books, about the second page in, I've added an additional journal, mini journal, and that's just what it feels right for me. Because they're quite chunky, I will make sure that on the other pages where I'm embellishing them, it's not going to be as thick, because there's quite a few pages in here to write. Now I'm going over with some washi tape here, and I really love it because it's just got some nice writing. It's going to be cream, so it's going to complement the journal that's going in there. And I just had fun bringing it to life. Now I only did it down either side of the page because the journal was going to sit in the middle, and I use another belly band to keep it in position. But I think it was just enough to add that nice bit of feature through there. Just adding a little bit of ink to it just to make it blend in with the paper that's there. and I actually come and add some lace instead of a belly band. I do apologize, to sit the diary it's not a diary, but fit the mini book into. And I think it just adds a nice little bit of difference. With the lace though, it does make the book stand up a little bit out of the page, but I figured it's okay. The ribbons stand up at the top, which complements the envelope wallet that I did. So yeah, I just had to wait until this glue set, and I use my popsicle stick just to make sure that it is not in just a bulk, but it is spreading it around. And while it dried, I worked on some other pages, but we're coming in now to show you the end result of my signature for this one. So adding some coffee stains in there from my stencil. There's a little bit of tracing paper that's there just to add a nice feature. And this is the bookmark that I created from the additional paper that I made, the concertina file. I made a little pocket for it to stand into, which is kind of cute, and it goes nicely with it. And there is the book that's sat in its little pocket made out of lace. And then I've just put a little washi stickers in there just to follow through on the colour scheme. And there is a little bit of that paper left that I've added to the page next to it, the next two, which is from the page that was left over. And I added a little frame, should I say, or picture. And there's a little pull-out piece for one of the preceding pages, and what's tied it all together is those coffee stains, but hopefully they give you some ideas. But the hero of this one and the main project was to show you this lovely concertina book with its ribbon. You saw the bookmark, but I had real fun making this. So thumbs up, subscribe, share, comments are always welcome. Remember to hit that notification bell. Come back and see me on the next video. It's been lovely hanging out with you, and I hope wherever you are in the world you are safe and you have time to create. And I apologize for my coffee stained fingers and the ink fingers from creating this, but I'm going to leave you to enjoy the music that's left, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.